James Yeager, you're a Mickey Mouse instructor. Hey everybody, David Jordan, thanks for watching. Today I'm here with one of my closest friends in the world, James Yeager. I asked him to talk with me for a little bit about some things that actually he and I have discussed over the years. I was just kind of reflecting on that, and I thought we would have that discussion. And he's kind enough to sit with me for a few minutes. So, across the nation, there's all kind of ideas that people will start firearms and companies, and then as soon as they start, they're just gone again. Mm-hmm. And you and I talked about that at one time before. And you said something to the effect of that's because they don't have a Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Talk about that.
Well, there's two ways that term is used. And I want to talk about both ways. First, the negative connotation. The negative connotation is that James Yeager is a Mickey Mouse firearms instructor, right? There's a lot of Mickey Mouse firearms instructors. There's me, and there's Kyle Lamb, Mickey Mouse, Larry Vickers, Steve Fisher, Chris Costa, they're Mickey Mouse firearms instructors. And what I mean by that, and it's the yin and yang of that word. People say it as a derogatory thing, but let me say it the other way. To further elaborate on what David was saying, people tell me all the time, these ranges, oh man, it's like Disneyland. We're going to build this range, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be like Disneyland. Very often back in the day, people referred to Blackwater as a Disneyland type range. Oh, they got this, and they got that, they got this, and they got that. All these rides. Right, and if you guys remember throughout the 2000s, all that DHS money going in, and all these multi-million-dollar training facilities opened up all over the country. Where they're at now?
That's right.
They're in mothballs. Why? They had Disney. Why did they fail? They didn't have a Mickey Mouse. See, nobody will travel to the Magic Kingdom if Mickey Mouse isn't there. Kids don't go and say, I want to ride Space Mountain. They don't. Kids say, I want to go see Mickey Mouse. I want to have breakfast with Mickey Mouse. I want to see Minnie Mouse. I want to see Goofy. Okay, and so when I say Kyle Lamb is a Mickey Mouse firearms instructor, I bumped into him at SHOT Show, by the way. Hi, Kyle. He's a nice guy. But Chris Costa is a Mickey Mouse firearms instructor. Steve Fisher is a Mickey Mouse. I'm saying that they have the appeal to make people come to them. They have some type of charisma or magnetism that draws people to them. And so it doesn't matter where me or Steve Fisher or any of these guys I've named or any number of other instructors, it doesn't really matter where we teach a class. Most of my classes are a flat spot in a hill and some target stands. And so there's nothing fancy. There's no Disney. They come from Mickey. And so that's the yin and yang of that word. People use it as an insult, but I'm like, yes, Mickey Mouse, here's my ears. And it's funny because David told me he wanted to do this video today over text, and he did not. I told him, I said, I'm actually wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt today. So it's actually, this I didn't put this on to do this video. I was wearing this when he texted me about doing this video. So
it was meant to happen.
So what else? Any answer your question on that, or did I say everything?
No, that's exactly just the we talk about mindset all the time, and that's just another facet of that, I think. I've been a paid instructor of some type for, I don't know, 20 years or so. I've trained a lot of people over the years. You and I, during a discussion, we're talking about, how people confuse training with other things. You said something that always stuck with me, and it was probably the best way I could have ever imagined to articulate the difference. You said training teaches you what and how to practice. Talk about that.
People would say, they post online, I'm going to the range to train this weekend. And I'm trained with who? Training is something that's done under the watchful eye of a hopefully competent instructor. That's training. Practice is where you make your payments. You've done that training. Now you go and practice those, do the repetitions in those things until you actually learn them. Now, I have a video about this, and Mark Ripito, the weightlifting instructor, they use the term train as every time you go in the gym, you're training. Training your muscles, training your body in that respect. So I understand that this word can be used in different ways, but as far as firearms training is concerned, you train at a class, a formal thing. You practice, alone or with a buddy or whatever to reinforce those skills. It's like buying a car. You go make your down payment, that's taking the class, and then you make payments on your car. Eventually you own the car. You make enough payments on your skills, you will own those skills.
I think, again, I've had that discussion with James. I've had it a lot of times about comparing training to other things. There's other perspectives. That just really was just a great way to articulate it for me. I talk to a lot of new shooters, and I talk to shooters predominantly that have not come from the perspective of wearing a gun all the time. They're brand new to this. They're thinking about doing this, and they're planning on doing that. And when they start taking those steps, one of the things they notice quickly is they're having trouble with finding the most comfortable, the comfortable way to carry a firearm all the time. And what I tell them is something, again, you and I have talked about before: carrying a firearm all the time is never going to be comfortable.
Well, to quote Jeff Cooper, the godfather of all this, guns are not supposed to be comfortable. They're supposed to be comforting. And the problem is that people buy a gun and want to have it on them all the time, but with no change in dress or behavior or daily routine of any sort. And
that applies to a lot of things. Weight loss.
Well, I mean, even let's look at cell phones. Okay, even your cell phone, which you use all the time, took some doing. Like, you had to figure out how you're going to carry the cell phone. I left my cell phone at the office. Some people put it in their pocket, some people in the purse, some people have a belt sheath for it. But you had to come up with a way to carry that phone. Like, you and I went through there was a time when there weren't cell phones. I know for some of you millennials, you don't understand that the internet wasn't always in the air. It used to come in a wire. But anyway, but we had to adapt to that. And so a lot of people don't understand that you're taking this other implement, like a phone, which you've made accommodations for and you accept because you find it so useful. The problem is with a gun, people don't find them very useful until they need them. And so you use the phone all the time, so it's easy to justify a new holster for your phone, or a new a thing, or I'm going to buy pants with a bigger pocket to fit the phone, or whatever. But they're not willing to make those same concessions for a firearm because they just don't ever use it.
Right.
I mean, it's like in a car. We have that little strap seatbelt that comes across us. Well, if we knew we were going to get in a wreck, we'd wear a flameproof suit, a helmet, gloves. We'd have a 5-point racing harness. We'd have a fire extinguisher right there by us that we could, but that's not convenient. But this is the least we can get. So what happens is a lot of people who have no idea what they're getting into, and a gun is a substantial investment, several $100s. It's $300, $400, $500 at least. And so they buy the one, and it's not right. They don't know where to get a holster. They're not in the gun culture. They don't understand that there are people that make this stuff and specialty items, and they're really just kind of lost wandering around. And eventually, they just don't carry the gun anymore.
Right. Exactly. There are there's ways to find equipment that is more comfortable than some other equipment.
Well, not to interrupt you, but if they're watching this video, they already know that. Well, I mean, it's all the people that aren't connected to the community, to the culture, that don't understand it. I mean, let's say your folks bought a gun.
Right.
No offense to David's parents, they're just not really plugged in.
Right. Yeah, they're not gun folks.
And those are the people that I worry about, not the folks that are watching the video. These people obviously, relatively plugged into the world. So I wasn't trying to cut you off there, but I'm just saying they already know.
Right.
But if you don't, NSR Tactical, Green Force Tactical, there's
if you're
holsters and Galco.
If you're a new shooter, don't ask the guy behind the counter at a gun shop what the best gun to buy is, because it's going to be under that case somewhere. Don't ask a guy in a gun shop unless you know them personally. Like holsters and stuff. Talk to people that carry them all the time.
You have an over 99% chance of whoever you're talking to in a gun shop being fucking retarded.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, sorry, David's mom. Sorry.
Haters. We were looking at your motorcycle one time, which you lovingly referred to as the hater sickle.
Yeah, hater cycle.
The hater cycle. I'm sorry, they say sickle in Europe. You told me one time early on in our, I was going to say relationship, but that sounds funny.
It sounds gay.
So early on in our friendship, you said if you ever want to see what somebody that's controversial, look up James Yeager on the internet, and I did, and you're not bullshitting.
Holy shit!
So you and I have talked about this. What about like a realistically? What are your thoughts on people that just hate you, or haters, which can be different?
Well, find somebody that knows me that hates me. I'm not saying those people don't exist. I mean, sure, we how can I get through, 45 years of my life without having made somebody mad? I get that. Find somebody that says I lied to them. Find somebody that says I cheated them. Find somebody that says I stole from them. Say, I haven't done those things. And that's not how I live my life. But there are people that don't like me. However, the by and large, there is just a anti-fan club of people that just hate on me to be hating on me. Like I don't fit whatever mold that they want me to fit into. Maybe I said stuff because I'm very vocal about things I like and don't like. And so if I say, yeah, I know, but I say I don't like this and they like it, so they instantly call me an asshole. Instead of going, I don't agree with his opinion. They take it very personal because we do. It's very much like insult the Ford versus Chevy or whatever. If guys get invested in that stuff, and so I make some folks mad on that. But what I encourage you to do, watching this video, if you've met me and I've been rude to you, post it up right there, time and place.
Right there.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to interrupt you. Sorry, I was just at SHOT Show.
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, you get me excited. Got to talk. But I was just at SHOT Show, the 2016 SHOT Show. I took 50 DVDs of my new shooting mythology, and told the guys, I said, everybody gets a picture with me. Everybody comes up and says, "Hey, Yeager, it's nice to meet you. I just want to say hi. Can I get a picture or whatever?" I'm gonna give them a DVD. Right? They were gone by lunchtime the first day.
That's very cool.
I thought I'd have them all week. Probably about 300 people. I kept a rough count. Got pictures with me that week. Okay. Ask those people if I was mean to them. There were people that I was walking by that I heard them say Yeager, and I was on the way to a meeting. It happened more than once. I heard them say, "Hey, Yeager," and I stopped and went back, shook their hands, saw if they wanted a picture, even though it was going to cause me to be late. Like I will never walk past a person. Like I am here because of you guys, not in spite of you. And so even those people I met briefly, they were saying stuff like, "Oh, man, you're so nice." And I'm like, "What did you expect?" Like really?
Yeah.
Hey, you carry not to live. Fuck you, motherfucker! Like I don't know what they were expecting. It's like you can watch if you have a mindset and you watch enough of my videos, you can paint me whatever picture you want. You can paint me as the biggest asshole, the most generous person you ever had, a fucking stand-up comedian. You can paint me anything you want if you watch those videos, but you don't really know me unless you know me. And so that's all I have to say.
All right, then. I like it. I'll say this, my 2 cents worth. We have traveled some together on probably most occasions where we've been out somewhere. Somebody will come up and you can always see them hovering. They kind of
doing a circle.
Like,
is it him? I see the tattoo. They look at me, then they see the tattoo. It's a tattoo.
And even like every time they've approached, we've stopped what we're doing. James will engage with those people, and it was funny because if you'd missed the first part of the conversation, I'm nice to meet you and blah blah blah, and this is how I know who you are. I watch all your videos. And like, you get past all of that. If you walked in right after that part of the conversation, you would swear they've known each other for a while. In every occasion I've ever seen, from like festivals where we were outside and at the mall or just wherever. So I can vouch for that. like the picture you said you can paint me as, like, I've painted you as most of those.
I have my moments.
Okay. At the end of every video that you do, the thing that you say, I'm going to screw it up now, right? Your responsibility to be ready for the fight, pause, never ends.
I don't always pause. It's an emphatic pause sometimes.
What, talk about that.
Basically, the thing is that, and it's always been my mantra, is people that are only ready sometimes. And what I mean by that is I've seen people drive up to the range, get out, go to their trunk, get their gun out of the holster, out of the bag in their trunk, put it in the holster, come and train, go back, take their gun out, and drive home. I'm like, why are you here? I don't even understand. You don't get a day off, and you don't get a time off. Now, there's a comedian, I think it was Stephen Wright, that said, I wonder if knights used to put on their armor to go get milk. And so I'm seeing this knight, he's like, man, I need milk. He might not have put his armor on, but I bet he took his fucking sword. I'm serious. I bet he had a weapon with him when he went to get milk or whatever. I'm being facetious with that, of course. But there is no day off. There's no time off, and you don't know when the fight's going to happen. You don't know. So that means the only default to that is, the only option is you have to be ready. And if you think about it, it's not that difficult to be ready for the fight. Just have your head out of your ass and have a pistol handy. Now, if you know there's going to be a fight, have a long gun handy. But that's it. It's just and it even hits home more now, even with the real threat of Islamic radical fundamentalists, the real threat, the continuing threat, the almost daily threat, it seems now, for them to attack us. It's more important than ever. There's no more days off, guys. There's no more days off.
All right. Great. That's all I have for right now. I'd like to do this again sometime.
Yeah, sorry, David's mom.
What do you know? You can't. I don't even know.
I'm
what
a
to
potty
do.
mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She loves you too, though. James, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. It's like I called him and pulled him out like it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. And I know you got a lot of stuff to do, and I appreciate you doing this. Guys and gals, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. James Yeager, you're a Mickey Mouse instructor.